For information about anything you've seen on tonight's
from the weak. It is survival of the fittest. No place for the faint-hearted. When the temperature rises in September, only the best sides can keep going.
Wren and Wine, Wren down behind, exposing the goal face. McLeod to Barney. Barney goes in.
While elation greets victory, despair keeps company with the vanquished. We've seen Melbourne's fairy tale come to an end at the hands of the Kangaroos, while the Western Bulldogs were made to eat crow at the second last hurdle for the second year running. Now, North Melbourne and Adelaide are poised to write another chapter in the pages of history. Both have been there before. They know what it takes to win the ultimate prize.
To the Adelaide Crows.
The Roos of '96, an awesome array of players who crushed the Swans in the AFL centenary year. They'll face the Crows, still singing after their flag triumph over St Kilda last season. But who will it be in 1998? That question will be answered shortly.
Hello, I'm Gerard Healy and welcome to a grand final edition of AFL Wrap. Well, today we'll find out who makes history and holds the Premiership Cup aloft at this, the home of footy, the MCG. It's been billed as the clash of the heavyweights, the battle between the premiers of the last two seasons, the Adelaide Crows and North Melbourne. Before we go to what should be a classic match, however, let's reflect on this year's Brownlow medal.
It is football's night of nights, where the toil and work of a long, hard season gives way to glamour and glitz. At the heart of the occasion, the quest to find just who is the AFL's fairest and best player. There's always speculation on who the victor will be. This year, St Kilda's Robert Harvey joined North Melbourne champion Wayne Carey as equal favourite before counting of the umpires' votes began. Collingwood's Nathan Buckley was also expected to poll well, while many predicted Western Bulldogs Scott West to be right in it at the finish. But it was a 32-year-old Melbourne veteran who soon had them talking.
Melbourne, T. Viney, 3 votes.
However, the classy midfielder Harvey quickly established a sizable gap, leaving the rest in his wake.
Harvey, 2 votes.
There was no doubt he'd repeat his triumph of 1997.
It's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to announce that the 1998 Brownlow medal winner is Robert Harvey from the St Kilda Football.
With 6 best on grounds, 6 votes of 2 and 2 singles, Harvey's tally of 32 overall was the equal highest ever.
Certainly something I didn't expect to happen, and I certainly polled better than I ever thought I would tonight. And yeah, it's just I'm just really honoured and proud to have done it again.
The 27-year-old finished 8 ahead of Buckley, with West another 1 vote behind. Only 5 other men have won the league's highest individual honour for 2 years running. Harvey's remarkable achievement ensuring him a special place in footballing history.
Yes, what a champion Robert Harvey's been. Now a dual Brownlow medalist, he takes his place among the legends of the game. But we're here for the grand final, so let's get down to what should be a classic match.
Can North Melbourne add another trophy to its cabinet? Or will the Crows make it 2 in a row? Let's go to the MCG to find out. The grand final pre-match celebrations. A cavalcade of colour, sound, and some former champions as well.
For the Holy Grail, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is where I'm meant to be. Sing Matilda, Matilda, one sing Matilda, one sing in the shouting. For
Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome former heavyweight champion of the world? He is the greatest, Muhammad Ali. Don't expect the hype to unsettle Dennis Pagan's ultra-professional Kangaroos side. They've won 11 matches in a row. 12 wins will give them the ultimate prize. And the man all Roos fans are looking to guide them to the Holy Grail is number 18, Wayne Carey. The King has been in majestic form. Another polished display should deliver glory. But never underestimate Malcolm Blight's Adelaide Crows. They're going for back-to-back flags. A remarkable effort since they finished in 5th position after the home and away round. Number 23, Andrew McLeod, is simply a star. He thrives on finals pressure, winning the Norm Smith Medal for best of field in last year's premiership win. Expect him to be among the Crows' best performers. With 6 goals, 15 behinds, 51 points, to Adelaide, 4 goals, 3 behinds, 27 points.
It doesn't matter because Jarman is there. And Jarman is back too. 3 goals to Jarman.
Hi! Jim Carrey's the Pet Detective with Courtney Cox.
You really love animals.
If it gets cold enough.
It's the knockout comedy blockbuster. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Thursday on 7.
What could you possibly buy at Fisherman's Wharf Market? Well, bric-a-brac, homemade cakes, toys, antiques, computers and software, records and CDs, clothing, books, jewellery, craft, pet supplies, old tools, second-hand furniture, ceramics and garden ornaments. There's over 100 stalls all undercover. Come to the market, stay for the day. There's so much to see at the port. The Fisherman's Wharf Market by the Lighthouse at Port Adelaide.
$25 per week.
$4,999.
$25 per week.
$4,999, and there's over 100 vehicles to choose from.
All stocks reduced. Pay even less with your trade-in.
Trade anything of value on a big car,
or little car,
family car,
wagons,
sports cars, panel vans, utes,
4-wheel drives and 8-seater buses.
And warranties available on all vehicles and titles guaranteed.
$25 per week.
$4,999.
$25 per week.
Don't whine, pay $4,999, even less with your trade-in at the Hilton Motor Company, corner of South and Burbridge Roads. $4,999.
Mr. Antenna brings perfect television pictures all over Australia. Mr. Antenna is Australia's largest TV antenna installation company. Now you can have a Mr. Antenna from only $79, including free coaxial cable lead, free tuning of your TV and VCR, plus Mr. Antenna's 3-year full warranty. Mr. Antenna manufactures his own antennas from solid aluminium tubes, not rolled aluminium like many others. Call Mr. Antenna now for perfect television from $79. $13.11.49. Mr. Antenna, the name you can trust.
Thrifty League. Go to the final term to see what happens.
Adelaide lead by 2 points. A surging third term, and there's our scoreline. Away we go. Wren reaches over the top, goes after the ball on the ground, wrestled to the ground, and another bounce.
Dennis, the benches for North Melbourne: Anthony Rock, Martin Pike, Mark Robertson, Craig Scholl, and for Adelaide, Kim Costa, Shane Allen, Matthew Connell, and David Pittman.
What a finish. 65 to 63. Rucks go at it again. Wren helped on by Johnson. Chance for King, taken by Tyson.
It's an interesting call by Dennis Pagan to start Capuano in the ruck and start McKernan in the forward line. So he's going to try and use McKernan as a marking forward, and the fresh Capuano, see if he can go good in the ruck.
McLeod after Wren thumped it forward. McLeod feeds it back to Tyson, 45 metres out. What a start.
And there it was, that man again, Andrew McLeod. The ability to take possession of the ball at ground level. Have a look at the high ball, and just the way he takes control of it under pressure. Weave his way through, set up Tyson, goal.
He's a great ball in heavy. He's a great player in heavy traffic, isn't he? He wins the ball in the congested areas. He feeds it out and releases the ball to the players who are on the outside of where all the traffic is.
10-11 to 8-15. North been put to the sword, aren't they? They're a great footy club, North Melbourne. They've had all the answers for 11 weeks. Have they got it for the 12? McLeod out the centre. Ball going forward. Edwards held up. North need the next one. The momentum's all against them. Stevens wobbles. Rashudo did well. Then half-baked one. A dummy one. And then takes them on. And takes them on again. And gives it to Wren, who unloads. And it's going and going to half-forward. Archer calls a play on. Archer's little kick is a good one under pressure. And finds the line. We talked a lot about Archer and Smart and their capabilities for both teams. They matched up against one another in the last quarter.
It's amazing, isn't it? Certainly in the round 21 game in Adelaide, it was Archer forward and Smart defence. They just reversed roles.
The other thing about North Melbourne, they've got a very old bench at the moment. Varney, high ball to full forward. Marsh getting himself set. McCartney in the front, belted away. Tyson's had a magnificent match. He's got Jarman loose. He's going to hit him now. Could Jarman go back and drill it? He's kicked 3. He kicked 6 last year. 5 of them in the final term at this end of the ground.
Bruce, at three-quarter time, Malcolm Wright spent a lot of time with his 3 tools, and there was a very strong body language from the players. They believe they can win this footy match.
8 points to margin. 10-11 to 8-15. They've kicked 6-8 to 2 goals since half-time. 14 shots to 2. Jarman's already played in 2 premierships, one at Hawthorn in 91 and one at Adelaide last year. Gives it all he's got. It's a beauty! He's done it! He's kicked his 4.
Adelaide has added 2 behinds to North Melbourne's 4 behinds, but the Crows still lead by 12 points, 79 to 67.
Stevens has been able to get hold of the ball on a number of occasions. McLeod didn't have the ideal preparation coming into this final series.
Marsh wins it down. Here's Robrin and Martin. Smart in front. Freeborn's got him. He gets a kick. He gets a kick. And a ridiculous kick. Well, that could just
Well, a couple of very important goals, Nigel Smart. Got that heavy knock early in the game, and you wonder how he got it under his boot. Just a quick kick being tackled and a terrific bounce from the Crows' point of view.
Weeks on the road for the finish to the season for Adelaide. You can almost smell it now. Johnson into the path of McLeod. Surges away from the centre. Kicks inside the 50. Jarman inspired. He was never going to miss that.
Look at determination on his face, isn't it? He knows this game's there for the taking.
Well, this kick could almost do it. He's kicked 4 this afternoon. And the margin now is slipping out to a considerable one. South Australia holds its collective breath. Darren Jarman kicks for goal. And he's kicked it.
And the Crows steamroller kept on moving, taking all in its path and thrashing the Kangaroos by 35 points. 15 goals, 15 behinds, 105 points to North Melbourne, 8 goals, 22 behinds, 70 points. What an achievement it is in modern-day football to win 2 flags in a row. This Adelaide side has now established itself as a unit of true champions, alongside some of the best ever teams. And Andrew McLeod has stamped himself as one of the best ever grand final players, with back-to-back Norm Smith medals. Last year's premiership hero Darren Jarman stepped up again, this time with 5 goals for the game. Nigel Smart booted 3, while Peter Vardy chipped in with 2. North Melbourne didn't have any multiple goal kickers in its paltry tally of 8 majors. They just weren't good enough for the pride of South Australia.
Already, he's dangerous, the Wizard runs the centre wing, pops it short to Gary Lyon and keeps running, the Wizard, he's gone! He's going to take him on, runs the 50, great play, this could go through and bounces, it's a goal! Sensational play! Jeffrey Farmer, magnificent!
So to give it to somebody who can kick long, Wayne Carey, he...
Stays in the contest very well. Very heavily, but barely. It was Mitchell coming through. Hurts down. Slow to get up. Running inside 50. 40 metres out. He shoots and he scores. Marked on the line. Marked on the line by Silvani. Kicks it back into Rice. He's cleaned out. Lucas is back on. Lucas shoots. Eston in the front. Thank you, the leader. Thank you, the leader. Good for Landia. Senders the ball inside. Kelly couldn't quite deliver with him. Bruce, there will be a spectrum call. Give it to her. There's no doubt done a knee. And just while that flow of play was on, the immediate contest when Kelly and Liverpool went to their mark, I dare say it's his left knee.
Who would have been alone in the squares. We see Liver just getting ready to come back on. This huge roar from the Bulldog fans and some cheers from the Essendon fans.
Looking for Neats out in front. Great kick, great defensive play by Stevens. Lions pounced on it, tried to get the ball back. Farmer around the corner. This is going to bounce through. His second.
Take about Jason Dunstall. He's clapping the supporters. One of the most magnificent careers ever in the history of the game. Well over 1,200 league goals. Gave away a couple of hundred. Scrupulously fair. A great team player and a fantastic captain.
25 metres out, 45-degree angle. Here they come. And he's done.
1998 Brownlow medal winner is Robert Harvey from the St Kilda Football.
To present it to number 26, the captain, Mark Beckley.
Well, that's the AFL wrap for 1998. I hope you enjoyed our grand final edition. Until next year, it's bye for now.